For more great content, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell.
El momento que rompimos las barreras. Nosotros que ya era como que después de ese partido ya no hemos confiado que le podíamos ganar a cualquiera.
They were a team of unknown players.
Yo creo que la TAM tenía que dar este paso que dimos nosotros contra NA.
Now history is theirs in the making.
Que el próximo equipo que se nos enfrente, que esté preparado porque nosotros ahora vamos con todas.
A team that fans outside their region largely dismissed.
Everyone was expecting NA and Europe to show up, and Brazil was probably arguably the next region alongside Korea that people paid attention to, and because of that, I don't think anyone expected anything from LATAM.
But they were also a team that made gods bleed.
It's over! It's done with! KRÜ against all of our expectations, against all odds! Send Sentinels home!
Latin American organization KRÜ Esports defied expectations at Valorant Champions by eliminating some of the best teams in the world.
The bells of the ball take down another giant, and so Cinderella's story continues. Vamos Latinoamérica! Vamos KRÜ!
But how did this group of young and hungry talent go from nobodies to god killers? This is the rise of KRÜ Esports. KRÜ Esports were founded in October of 2020 by world-famous footballer Sergio Kun Agüero. As something of a well-known FIFA streamer during the pandemic, Agüero's goal was to bridge the gap between digital and traditional sports, and to spread gaming and esports to a wider audience.
No, la verdad que estamos muy bien. Obviamente teníamos en claro lo que queríamos, que era arrancar con FIFA y empezar a pensar en otros juegos. Estamos haciendo las cosas muy bien. Hay cosas que tenemos que mejorar, que es normal, que estamos recién aprendiendo, pero bueno, lo estamos haciendo muy bien. Así que la verdad que estoy muy contento y obviamente que bueno, esperemos que siga esto así, ¿no?
In January of 2021, the Argentine organization announced the formation of their professional Valorant team, including Argentine players Klaus and Liabas, as well as Chileans AKZ, Nags, and Mazzino filling out the roster. In the Valorant Champions Tour Latin America South qualifier, which also happened to be KRÜ's first tournament as a team, they blew through the competition, earning themselves the second seed in their region's Stage 1 challengers.
Vecino que logra concretar. Esta es mi casa. La quieren defender. Cuidado que empieza a iniciarse lo que es la spike para los chicos de Próximo Team que tienen una ronda de ventaja. Cuidado con esto porque Vecino logra llevarse la primera. ¡Ay, Klaus! ¡Ay, Nax! Tenemos nuevamente defensa para los chicos de KRÜ Esports.
Then, in the first Latin America South Challengers, they were able to recreate that success, coming in second to Weiger's Argentina.
Queda solo Klaus en pie. Cuidado con esto. Es el último. Lo último que va quedando. Uy, se lograba descontar, pero no pasa nada. Todos tranquilos. Venía una explosión directa en la cara. La cabeceaste, la atrapaste y te moriste. ¿Y cuánto Moboax? ¿Qué tenemos?
Tenemos victoria para los muchachos y campeón. Weigers en esta oportunidad del primer Valorant Challengers edición Latinoamérica Sur.
Unfortunately, coming just short of the gold became a habit throughout the rest of Stage 1, with back-to-back top 4 finishes at Challengers 2 and Stage 1 Masters. On the heels of these disappointments, KRÜ parted ways with both Liabas and AKZ, replacing them with Initiator BNJ and Sentinel Controller Delzik. And these changes were just what the team needed. After getting acquainted with the new roster, they demolished their first Stage 2 Challengers tournament.
¿Estamos confundidos o es la última? ¡Es la última!
¡Es la última!
Ahí está, Husar por uno. Tiene que correr sí o sí para adelante, pero nada que hacer, Vecino, lo descuenta. Y KRÜ es el nuevo campeón del sur. KRÜ se va a estar enfrentando contra el campeón del norte, no te la creo.
They were undefeated against Latin America South, and it was time to test their mettle against the rest of the continent. In May of 2021, at the Stage 2 Challengers Finals, they were up against the best that Latin America had to offer.
Ahora sí, ojito con J, ojito con J, joven en el suelo. ¡Triple! ¡A dormir! Esta es mi casa, mi garage, y te me vas de aquí. Ahora sí, 12 contra 5, se mantiene en el larga, sino que lo encuentra. El último en Kobe se mantiene desde la zona larga. Es Cicli, una Spectre en mano, se lleva uno, pero la ronda es para KRÜ. Llegan los fulgores, llega todo, la utilidad, los chicos de KRÜ que esperan, fallan los tiros, desde que se lleva uno, intercambio rápido, persa desde la lejanía, Dubset que se lo lleva.
Comienza a hacer frío, Malik, porque se sienten los aires de Islandia. 12-1 y lo saben. Spike plantada. Rainmaker con Sheriff en mano. Es una tarea mecánica, ya lo detectaron. Sabe que es difícil y deja la firma. Pone y les dice: nos vamos a Islandia, señores. KRÜ Esports gana. Campeón supremacista latino. Tenemos representante de Latinoamérica.
Once again, KRÜ proved they were more than up to the task, taking first and punching their ticket to Valorant's first ever international LAN, Masters Reykjavik. Firmly at the top of their home region, KRÜ were eager to test themselves against the rest of the world, but they would soon find out that they were a big fish in a small pond.
That might be all he needs. Sees one, that's gonna be the start. The second, the Reaper from up above. Durka just like a guillotine right now, slicing through KRÜ, but Delzik at least puts up a fight back here. But you can see it just looks like right now Fnatic are just gonna take this from them, rip it out of their hands. Magnum happy to take the fight as Nagza is the last one alive, and Fnatic destroy KRÜ in the first game of Masters.
In their first game on a global stage, KRÜ were handed a defeat unlike any they'd experienced before. Between their two maps against Fnatic, they failed to break double-digit rounds and found themselves in the lower bracket playing for their tournament lives. While they were able to make some headway against Brazil's Sharks Esports, they were matched against Team Liquid, one of the top EMEA contenders, in their third and ultimately final match of the tournament.
Detained. In fact, 2 players from Liquid are detained. Cryptus backside. Can he get out of this in time? Are they going to find him? Yes, they'll get him. They won't take down Yampy, but with that detain, they have the psych under control. BNJ in a critically important position. Yampy leaps through with the blades, and there it is, straight in the face. Delzik goes down. Yampy with the defuse. Liquid have locked it in. A 2-0 victory against KRÜ, eliminating them here from this tournament, from Masters to Reykjavik. And Liquid, as expected, will be moving forward.
In Stage 3 qualifiers, KRÜ once again changed up their roster, bringing in Kesnit as a replacement for BNJ, who was moved to a 6th player spot. This change again helped KRÜ to top up their game. They dominated all of Stage 3, only dropping a single game in 3 months, earning their ticket to Stage 3 Masters Berlin, and their second chance at showing the world their quality.
Podría terminar todo aquí. KRÜ Esports que está buscando, se va a encontrar a Meltzer en cualquier momento. Simplemente termina por llevar la división astral, saben que viene para el sitio. Y Masino que está en el suelo. Meltzer que los termina por confirmar. Y con eso, que es el 1 contra 1, termina por caer. KRÜ Esports que son los ganadores. KRÜ Esports que son nuestros representantes de la Masters de Berlín.
At Masters Berlin, KRÜ made it out of groups after besting Japan's Zeta division and Brazil's Keed Stars.
This could be the end for the Japanese side of Zeta in the opening game. They could be going down to the lower bracket, and by the looks of it, Tom, they will. Makiba needs a 1 versus 5 clutch. Last time, he died to a Molotov. Let's hope this time around it ain't, but it's a bullet to the chest that takes him down. 13-7, as KRÜ will be going on to face Envy in the winners match.
You've got the lockdown as well. They have this read, but can they get the kills? Heat up tight. Kesnit gets onto NTK. The Hunter's Fury's not there. Kesnit gets the second one as well. 2 members remain for Vivo Keat to keep tournament life alive. Make that one. It's just Vixen, and no, sir. KRÜ's going to advance. Que viva KRÜ. They're going to the knockout stage.
What a game from KRÜ. You can see how pumped they are. You can see what this means. The team brought together from members that were dropped left and right to build themselves up, knowing this was a squad that could make it work.
But tragedy struck once again after moving into the playoff bracket. Paired up against G2 Esports in the quarterfinals, KRÜ were sent packing.
as they make a move back into the A site. A passive hold for the majority of the players on the G2 side. Hold'em enter in this corner, he could be there, he could be isolated, and in fact he's gonna get both kills! The new boy in this G2 roster, one of many which was formed to create this super team. They were top 4 just about in EMEA, and now they've already made the top 4 here in Berlin.
Despite the disappointing results of both Reykjavik and Berlin, KRÜ earned themselves a spot at the year-end Champions tournament. This would be their third and final chance of the season to truly make their mark.
Vamos a la siguiente ronda con Relentless, que trata de sacar, mira cómo avanzan, y imagino que dicen, ¿dónde estarán? No, le ponen una pule, están pegaditos uno al otro, que es Nicolas doble, Masino también sobre Sater, y le sigue tirando en el piso por si acaso está quieto, buscaba a Milso tratando de hacer el milagro, mira cómo se está mandando la Jet, en Iceland que le pone una cuchilla y ya está, impecable en la última, lo cierra de manera contundente esta victoria para KRÜ.
Going into Champions, KRÜ weren't seen as contenders. In their group stage pool, they faced off against both Team Liquid, who had knocked them out at Masters previously, and Sentinels, seen by many at the time as among the best in the world.
Era romper esa barrera de las prácticas a jugar en stage, jugar con esa presión, poder controlarla, poder controlar los nervios. Y el momento que jugamos contra Sentinels, y tal vez no fue el mejor partido que tuvimos contra Sentinels porque fue un partido muy reñido de alguna forma. Fue un partido donde ya ese fue el momento que rompimos las barreras.
Things didn't start off well. KRÜ dropped their opening match against Team Liquid, getting smashed 2 maps to 0. But in the second round, KRÜ managed to stay alive, winning out against Rise Esports and moving on to the decider match against none other than Sentinels.
There are no second chances left. The winner of this match will be going through to the quarterfinals and the loser will be heading home. We've sent teams home already, and Bala, neither of these teams want to go home at this stage of the tournament.
Sentinels has never been in this position before top 8 in an international tournament. They're not going to want to do it again, and they've got a fire under them. They are so ready.
You keep talking about the fire underneath them. I keep thinking about how KRÜ, just in the background right now, is screaming their hearts out. If I can ever look at a team and I'm like, there's momentum behind them, it is with KRÜ right now.
Map 1 went the way of Sentinels, and by halftime of Map 2, KRÜ were trailing 4 rounds to 8.
But if this man is alive, there is a chance. Sick has been just digging them out of scenarios that could be unfavorable. Tens as well. 2 heavy hitters right now still standing. Sick has found so much for Sentinels right now. This guy is absolutely coming alive for the boys.
But after the side switch, KRÜ bounced back, claiming 7 straight rounds and finally gaining the upper hand. The rest of the map was hard fought, but in the end, KRÜ succeeded in taking Sentinels to a deciding Map 3 on Split.
And KRÜ now, they're all in. They're going for it. It's all on the line now. Nexik tries to get towards the side. That's the first victim found. He gets Dapper, he gets the weapon! He gets the second! Nexik tearing Sentinels apart. The pop flash for Sick could be big, but he still has to wait for the timing to be right. There it is. Can he make anything of this? No, it doesn't look like it. And Shazam has to wait and watch as KRÜ are going to take us to the third.
What an insane end to that half. KRÜ on their feet, rightly so.
With the momentum on their side, KRÜ did not let up. They kept the pace with Sentinels, trading blow for blow with the North American Titans.
It's a tall order, a 1v3. Klaus, Nax, and Mazzino alive and kicking right now for KRÜ. Flash comes through. That's not even going to pop here. Klaus ready and holding though.
Dapper, it's your time to shine right about now. It's all on you, buddy. Surrounded on all fronts. It's over! It's done with! KRÜ against all of our expectations, against all odds. Send Sentinels home!
Against all odds, KRÜ managed the biggest upset of the year, sending Sentinels home before they even made it out of groups. The script, as it were, had been effectively turned upside down, and KRÜ wouldn't let anyone, especially Sentinels, forget it.
Y un saludo para Soms también, que creía, si Brasil era la región más triste del mundo, por no decir mierda, no me gusta esa palabra, nosotros estábamos en la hiper mierda. Y la hiper mierda, amigo, te mandó a casa.
A casa.
KRÜ's first stop in the playoffs was a rematch with Fnatic, the team that knocked them out in Reykjavik. After the shocking result of their last match, expectations for this one were uncertain. Had it all been just a fluke? Did Sentinels beat themselves? Or could this little team from Argentina really be as good as they seemed?
Well, despite what some people might think, the KRÜ versus Sentinels game was probably the greatest Valorant upset ever across any tournament in any regions. And I think that's when people started to realize, going up against Fnatic, at what point do you stop calling a victory by KRÜ an upset, you know?
As the first map of the quarterfinals got underway, Fnatic took a solid lead.
And they're able to drop it right away. They're just taking the options out of KRÜ's hands, one after the other, and there's the members going down. Boaster strangling the side. Doma gets a frag for himself, and Doug, it's only going to be one more as they round out that one. 8-4 on the first half.
But in what was becoming a trend, KRÜ came back hard in their attacking side and moved the game into overtime.
Slowly but surely, Hesitant's able to get a second. I don't know that Fnatic left themselves much time to this at all, Riv.
Hunt him down. Kesnet smells blood in the water. Can he find it? Oh, the alarm bell comes back online. Klaus had just come in close enough, but it's not going to be the play.
Fnatic are going to have to fight for this retake. And again, you have Boaster who's up in heaven, and you imagine it's going to be played off of that dart. Delzik.
One after the other.
Yep. Mystic creeping his way forward, drops the player in hell. Not able to take care of Klaus though. Delzik gets a second. Oh, Delzik gets the third as well to clean things up. KRÜ, they take Haven. What is this?
After coming back with a vengeance in map 2, Fnatic had tied things up and looked to keep that momentum rolling into the deciding map. But KRÜ had other plans.
The identity of this squad up until this point is go fast, right? Like you have one speed and that speed is go. So for them to go onto the attacking half of a map like this, they managed to go through the fact that they didn't have a killjoy defensively and what kind of problems that may have caused. Now they're in what really this composition is more built for. It's go.
They came out swinging, taking an early lead that, try as they might, Fnatic just couldn't overcome.
Magnum on the defuse, nope. Not even able to get to half the showstopper online to buy some space, to buy some time! Kesnet is able to get two, but Doma and Mystic snatch it back! KRÜ down to 2. Oh my gosh, it's all down to Doma, the 1v1! He's got the ult and he's done it! The bells of the ball take down another giant, and so Cinderella's story continues! Vamos Latinoamérica! Vamos KRÜ!
KRÜ had taken their revenge, and in the same stroke, propelled themselves farther than they had ever come at an international tournament. But their next match was against Gambit Esports, the champions of the previous Masters Berlin. KRÜ started off looking strong, but were ultimately crushed in a dominant second half of the first map.
I believe there was the ping coming out from Klaus just to give that extra little bit of information. Defo trying to close the gap and might be able to try and isolate one of these players. It's going to be Klaus on the other side, and the shot is connected. The sneaky push through catches him though. A big round from Delzik, and it's left into the 1 versus 1. It's a perfect place. Piece of utility out from Redgar. Can he get this final kill? Yes, he can. It is going to be that clutch out. It is going to be the first map going the way of Gambit. 9 rounds in a row.
But in map 2, KRÜ pulled out all the stops to tie up the series.
Klaus, though, going huge. The Nano keeping them back, and this is already done. KRÜ walk out with 13-7. Map 3 is where we'll decide things. What an incredible performance by this Latin American side on their map pick.
In the final deciding map, KRÜ Esports were swinging above their weight class, pushing Gambit to the absolute limit.
It's a 2v2. KRÜ wall off the spawn, slow down. That buys them time to plant. They'll be able to set themselves up for post plans. Klaus still with a snake bite to play with, but they are not going passive. They are staying up in their opponent's face. And this is a good setup. When Klaus takes contact, Nags will be able to jump on top and try for the assist. They're walking out, and it looks like they've done it. Klaus finishing it off with another triple. We will go to overtime number 2.
After 10 rounds of overtime, Gambit Esports finally came out victorious, and KRÜ found themselves packing their bags.
Oh, he's on the back side. They won't expect him already. Nat's able to take one, and he'll take the second. 18-16. The defending champions take it across the line. Gambit are going to the grand final.
But even after losing that match, and ultimately the tournament, KRÜ had accomplished something incredible. A team full of rookies and untapped potential had stood toe-to-toe with the best international Valorant had to offer.
This team came in as one of one. There was one LATAM representative. They have come top 4 in this tournament, and I would fight anybody at this point who say they didn't deserve a spot in the final. They have been phenomenal, and they have taken the best team in the world, tooth and nail, all the way through. Gambit, they've shown their resilience, Mitch, but honestly, we are all so impressed with KRÜ.
KRÜ did so much more than make the best teams in the world sweat. They made them bleed. The kings of Latin America had put the rest of the world on notice, and going into 2022, no one will be calling them underdogs anymore.
No solo importa matar o estar bueno dentro del juego, importa ser buen compañero, tener buena actitud, ser profesional. No todos somos perfectos y hay que seguir trabajando a medida del año, y son metas que tenemos. Y obviamente la más importante es por lo menos pasar de semifinales hasta la final.